Mom!
Bo!
Travis?
Yes.
Bo? Yeah. Travis?
Yes.
Hello. Go ahead.
Yes.
Bo?
What? Tell me.
Listen, it's only appropriate now that we're closing out the year to check in with some of the people that have been on the show before and find out what they've been doing.
For listeners, if you haven't heard these stories, you're going to get an idea of what's in them and go back and check them out. But listen, it's also a really great opportunity for you to check your cyber stuff at the door and figure out how you're doing. Because we're going to talk to our previous guests about what they were doing and what got them hacked and how they've reacted since then.
So it's basically a question of, are you cyber clean or are you cyber dirty?
No, it's not a question of are you cyber clean or cyber dirty. That's a totally different question. One for, not going to say who because, that's a private, personal thing and we wouldn't know because we never hack people. But
we're talking about hygiene, like dentists, doctors, cleanliness. Cleanliness is close to cyber godliness.
My bad. I got you.
And speaking of cyber godliness, I'm Adam.
I'm Bo.
I'm Travis.
And
Travis.
He is the cyber god.
Travis, you weren't laying it on thick enough. Give us the voice of God. Come on. Say Merry Christmas or something.
Merry Christmas, bitches.
All right, so first up, we have Joyce Bertner, one of my favorite humans ever on the planet. And if you remember, Joyce's favorite Mahjong game on our computer was actually a backdoor that helped a hacker access her bank account. And thankfully, they were able to stop that hacker before it got too bad.
And at that point, my husband was working upstairs, happened to come down where I was sitting in my kitchen, where I'm often because my router is nearby. And I'm sort of saying, Chase, there's a problem. And he immediately, I'm going down to Chase. And I'm like, now the guy is hearing this. And I said, I told you not to tell anyone. So at that point, he knows we've caught on. And then Jerry left quite immediately to go down to the bank. And then I hung up. And then they tried to call me back twice. Both guys, because I took their names down. I saw what numbers came up on the phone. I totally forgot this part. Sorry. The first guy says to me, I want you to download this software called TeamView, I believe it was. And I hate to say it, but I did it. And then all the computer flashing numbers are, all that. And I'm looking at it and like, oh my God, what did I do?
So Joyce, welcome back.
Well, thank you. It's delightful to be with you guys.
Happy holiday.
Happy holiday.
And since Bo was smitten with your Mahjong game, we're gonna let him start off.
Well, I guess my first question is, so first of all, I have not started to play Mahjong because I'm a little stuck with Tetris right now. But the game sounds fascinating to me. Was the game ruined for you because of this thing, or do you still play?
I still play, but with the holidays and people are in different places, we actually have not played as a group for a while.
But you're still going. You're still doing it. It did not deter you.
Oh, yeah, it did not deter me. Absolutely.
Excellent.
Because I know when Joyce thinks about Mahjong, that little voice in the back of her head says,
oh, my God.
I love it.
No, wait.
Well, just to set the record straight, guys, I do love other things even more.
Like Adam.
Like reading a good book, like talking to you.
Yeah.
Like my beloved family, friends, all that.
So did you learn anything from being on the show? Did you change any of the ways that you approached life online?
Well, I certainly do not open any attachments, and I'm getting swamped with all kinds of emails now. I suppose from shopping online, political ads, shopping for ads for all kinds of things, and I don't open anything. I delete immediately.
Not only that, but when Jerry comes home now, he has to actually authenticate himself with a thumbprint before you let him in the house.
I don't believe that.
Well, have your friends been inspired? Because they've listened to the podcast, as I understand. Have they told you that they've changed any of their habits in terms of making themselves more secure?
Definitely a greater awareness of email, texting. Nobody's clicking so quickly when they get a text or an email without really thinking about it. So I certainly learned my lesson, and I hope I conveyed my message clearly enough to help other people avoid what happened to me.
Joyce, I have to say that I love your voice as much as you love our voices, and it's very nice to hear your voice. But when I'm going into the few games that I play, I remember your voice because I remember what happened to you. And the fact is, these kinds of exploits and threats are ubiquitous. And it's just some dumb bad luck that you can get got by them, and shoring up the way that you do business, the way that you have your computer set up, the way that you have your finances set up on your computers. Sometimes it's the best you can do, and I learned that from hearing your story.
We appreciate the update. We love you madly, and
back to all of you.
A giant big hug.
Sending bear hugs to you as well. Next up, we have Larry Jeroman. Larry, like so many of us, he clicked on what he thought was a normal, everyday, average internet link. The disguise they are. However, what happened was something he least expected.
So I didn't even question it. I called him back. So the guy gets me on the phone and says, yeah, we're from the fraud department at Amazon. And he gave me his name and his badge number and a bunch of other things. And then he says, yeah, we'll get it back into your bank account. He says, I'll send you a link, click on it. And he says, a form will come up, fill it out. And he says, we'll put it back in your account. Well, I did. I clicked on it. And I filled out the form. But in the meantime, I noticed a cursor on my computer. So I said to the guy, I says, hey, what's this cursor on my computer? He says, I'm going to help you fill out the form.
Well, let me ask you, hold on a second there. Now, the cursor, you mean like when you're moving the mouse around on your computer, that thing that you put where you...
Yeah, but I wasn't moving the mouse.
Who was moving it? The guy?
Was. Yeah.
So he was in your computer then? Right.
Oh. It dawned on me after that. But what happened was once he got in the computer, then he showed me my bank account or a facsimile of, and he says, yeah, see the $499. I said, yeah, I see it in my account. He says, well, I'll put it back in now that you filled out the form. Well, I waited a few minutes, and then he shows me the bank account again, except he put $3,499.99 into the account. He put me on a phone with another guy who supposedly was his boss. And this guy gave me a name and a badge number and everything and says, yeah, we'll take care of it. He says, I can give you a $200 convenience fee because we're putting you out. He says, but we need $2,800. And I says,
wow.
Then the other guy come back on and says, is there a CVS near you? And I says, not really. I says, it's quite a ways away. He says, well, if you go to the CVS, I says, I can't go anywhere. I don't drive. I was getting annoyed, and I think he was too. And I says, look, I can't get to the CVS. He says, well, see if you can find a ride and get to the CVS and give me a call back. I says, well, hey, look, you put it in, you take it out.
Larry, how have you been?
Oh, doing pretty good. I just, it took me about, 6 months to get everything straightened out. I learned that a lot of the accounts that I had automatically coming out of my account still had the old account on it, and I had to change them all. So yeah, it took better part of 6 months to get everything straight.
So the direct debit, it actually was the
Right.
problem because you had a chance. Well, that's one of the things that it's enormously uncomfortable and annoying and time consuming to have to change all of that. But at least, you're a lot safer for it.
Well, it took me 3 months to get my Social Security straightened out too, because they kept putting it into the old account, the one that I had frozen.
Oh, well.
They kept putting it in there, and then I had to call Bank of America fraud, and they would transfer it back.
So, Larry, it's Bo here, and I got a question for you.
Yeah.
You are the communications guy at, is it the American Legion?
I'm the service officer.
Now, I assume because of that, everyone down there is aware of the things that happened, and you gave them some good tips on how to stay safe?
Well, let's put it this way. My sister-in-law, Sue Tompler, who writes for the Free Press, Detroit Free Press, right after that, she wrote an article, and I printed up the article, and I took it to all my organizations. I took it to American Legion. I took it to Alhambra. I took it to my bridge club. I took it to everybody, and gave them the copies, and they got to read it. And if they had questions, I answered them. And in fact, it was a funny thing. Just 2 days ago, a lady from the American Legion, who I know real good, her husband was caught on that. And she called me right away, and she says, "Hey, is this what happened to you?" And I says, "Yep." And she says, "Oh, good," because I told him, and she says I was going to check with you, make sure that was it. So yeah, I told her.
I knew it. Adam, I knew it. I knew that
The
Larry
star was born.
going to be a cyber warrior, a scam fighter, and he has proven himself to be the guy with the eagle hat fighting crime.
He is a cyber celebrity now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I know, but let's put it this way. I'm not ashamed to tell everybody it happened. That's the problem. A lot of people would be ashamed to tell people and just keep it to themselves. No, that's not me. If somebody asks me or I tell them, I let them know, because it can easily happen to anybody.
No, and that's the important thing, is that in this case, sharing is caring.
Yep.
And it's caring about everyone else. That, people are willing to be selfless about this and say, look, it happened to me and I fought my way through it.
Yeah.
And I would like to avoid you having to go through the same thing.
And there's nothing to be ashamed of. We operate in a shame-free zone,
Correct.
Well, when I took it to American Legion, quite a few of the people there approached me afterwards and said, "Hey, that happened to me."
Yeah.
And I says, "Oh, well, so now everybody knows, everybody, they tell everybody, and which it just, it multiplies. So
that's right.
It's called threat sharing. As a matter of fact, one of the things the government is trying to do a little bit more of too is with public-private partnerships.
Oh, that's right.
Is the more you share information about the threat and about things you can do to deal with the threat, the safer we're all going to be.
Yeah, because these scams they rely on the shadows, on people not talking about it, and
That's
so that we can keep just spreading around.
Yeah, well, it's like now I'm leery about a lot of things, because when you called this morning, I didn't recognize the number. I wasn't about to answer it.
And I knew that's what you did, and I was so happy. I knew you were like, "Nope, I'm not picking up that phone." And I left a message, and I knew you'd call me back. And what, did you maybe call me back 5 minutes later?
Yeah. But no, if I don't get a message, that number goes blocked. I don't even bother with it anymore.
That's
you're 1,000% right, because if they had some important message to impart to you that was legitimate, they would actually leave a message. Now, that doesn't mean that every time someone leaves a message, you can believe them.
No,
but it's
that's how
good.
I got hooked in the first place.
That's right. But it's good. It's good to question. They talk about a zero trust environment. Well, unfortunately, now we're all in a zero trust environment when it comes to anything.
It's getting that way with emails too. Emails the same way.
I'm inspired, Larry. I feel like that we are all kindred spirits here.
Well, it's one of those things, and I'm older, all right, and like even now, I'm finding things out about my phone that I never knew before, only because I'm not computer literate like the kids are nowadays.
Right.
Okay, I can maneuver through a computer, but not as good as they do. And so, yeah, I could easily get caught up in anything,
But Larry, also just one quick thing, and then we have to wrap it up. And it's so great to have had you here, is that kids are increasingly being the targets, and I don't mean young kids.
Right.
I mean, older kids, simply because they get online and they're part of what I call Gen I, which is Generation Invincible. They're trusting, and they're open, and they're used to sharing, oversharing, and they fall for it.
Oh my God, that is good. In Generation Invincible, I have not heard, and I really like. Larry, thank you so much. We appreciate the check-in, and keep fighting the good fight.
Anytime for you guys. I appreciate everything you did, and all the information I got from you guys.
Well, thank you so much. Happy holiday.
Thanks so much.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to be checking in with MAGA troller Roy Kortic. Stick around.
This episode is brought to you by Candy Crush Saga. The holidays can be pretty hectic, so take a little time for yourself with the ultimate holiday treat, the classic Match 3 puzzle Candy Crush Saga. And right now, you can catch the limited time event Sweet Surprise Season and win sweet daily rewards like a super rare party booster and up to 10 gold bars. Don't miss out. Play Sweet Surprise Season and Candy Crush Saga and crush it this holiday season now until January 1st. Download from the App Store, Google Play, or Windows Store for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey everybody, I'm Amy.
And I'm her husband, Chris. Every week on True Crime Recaps, we're bringing you twice the crime in half the time.
How would you like to hear about 3 terrifying Amish murderers in less time than it takes to stalk your ex on social media?
Here's how it works. We scour the internet for all the bizarre details to bring you some really out there recaps about the worst of the worst. What could be better?
Our favorite recap so far has got to be the one about Ed Kemper. I swear if you didn't know he killed 10 people, you'd want to have a drink with him.
If you've got less than an hour to get your true crime fix, True Crime Recaps is the show for you. After all, you've got a lot of mysteries to solve.
Pause whatever you're listening to right now and go subscribe to True Crime Recaps for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss a recap. Have we got a story for you? We'll see you there.
Roy Kortic joined us for our first episode to tell us a story about trolling MAGA types after the January 6th insurrection. The Capitol wasn't the only thing they invaded. They also found their way into his computer.
Right before the inauguration, I think when Parler got kicked off of their own app was shut down by, I don't know, was it Amazon or Apple? Everyone kind of shut them down. And it was in the news that everyone from Parler was migrating to Telegram. So just was doing a search for like Parler on Telegram and saw it was like tens of thousands of people filling up these rooms. and just wanted to kind of observe. I had never been on Parler, so just wanted to observe the kind of crazy QAnon chat going into what was a really scary inauguration, just, and being in those rooms was just a little too tempting to get into conversations with people. It went from lurking to trolling. I mean, I got kicked out of like room after room, and we'd go to like a different Parler room.
But you were being very, very provocative, as I recall.
I mean, yeah, we were like the My Pillow guy. He's not even giving the troops pillows, like just freaking out over things. It's like trying to be as funny as possible. And then they would just fade out us. Gotten kicked out of like the really bigger rooms, and was just then I couldn't even find any more Parler rooms, so I went to look for different QAnon rooms, and I saw one. It was like maybe 20 or 30 people, same routine, like just was troll posting, and there were these crazy like gifs I'd never seen, like evil clowns with their arms and like jaws opening, and I mean that to me seemed like it could have been some kind of virus, but in any case, so I'm posting. They're like, yelling back at me, this or that. Then all of a sudden I see a picture posted, and it was a picture of me that doesn't exist on the internet. That's like only on my phone and my computer.
That's pretty scary. Thanks for coming back, Roy. I'm glad that you were able to come back, that someone hadn't taken you away by now.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, Roy, you spending any more time trolling Trumpies and anti-vaxxers?
No. After that, never again. I'm not antagonizing any QAnoners or...
no more evil clowns then.
Yeah. I did have some weird charges on a credit card, but I don't think it was QAnon related.
Did you buy a Trump shirt or something? What was it?
It was Sam's Club. What is that? Is that like a Costco or something? It's something I don't belong to. Yep. And there were like 3 $49.99 charges in a row. And it's
that sounds like a pretty typical somebody got your credit card number scam.
Yeah, they sent me a warning thinking I get double charged, and I was like, I don't even belong to Sam's Club.
No, but I do thank you for letting me use your credit card when I went over there. And the T-shirts are great.
Yeah. We've neglected to tell you that you remember I was on that Telegram thread with you trolling the QAnon people.
Yeah.
But I was actually there hacking your computer so that Adam could get your credit card number so that he could spend $49.99 at Sam's Club.
6 months later.
Yeah, that's how it works. You do it later so that they can't tell.
Because as we say, the family that spends together ends together. So, hey.
All right. So did you learn anything from the show other than that you're never going to troll the bad guys again, or the good guys, or whoever the guys are?
I don't think so. No. I mean, I haven't been following like the computer hygiene you suggested, like shutting everything down every night. It's just too much effort to put in 1 million passwords every morning and open like the 20 screens I have open. So
password manager.
I mean, Safari does it for me quite a lot. Sometimes it doesn't. But
so please
still,
tell us that you at least have an extremely, extremely complex Apple password.
Yeah, no, I never remember it. I'm resetting it all the time.
It's Bo, right? Bo's
We're gonna have to beep this whole thing, like this whole thing has to be beeped. Come on, Roy.
Like all my Apple ID, you mean? Yeah.
We're gonna have to make Roy T-shirts and sell them from the site, Adam.
Yep, and the slogan is going to be "Make Cyber Great Again."
Yeah, or don't be like Roy. Roy.
That's right.
Well,
instead of like that.
As long as I'm not antagonizing the QAnoners, it seems like I'm pretty safe out there. Like
they pretty much antagonize themselves, so I wouldn't,
Well, no, but Adam, I'm going to put a bet down now. Roy, first of all, thanks for coming. It is nice of you to come and drink sarsaparilla with us on your work day. But I want to just put a chit on the table. Excuse me. He's going to come back as a guest. We're going to get another good story.
Oh, without question.
100%. Travis?
Yep. Sounds like
All right, Roy. We'll be circling back with some password advice after we get off the phone, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks for coming back.
Thanks, Roy.
Thanks.
Bye.
See you.
All right, so let's do the poll now. How fast do we see Roy again?
Well, is it 6 months? How long was it before you did that charge for $49.99 on his card?
10 minutes.
Oh, I see. You just put. I'm going to say it's going to be in the fall of 22. That's when I think it'll happen. What about you, Travis?
I'm thinking Valentine's Day, 22.
Ooh.
I was going to go with spring, so we're pretty much on the same page.
Wait, no, we got to pick. You can't say spring because that means you're going to come back and say I said spring and I win. I'm saying fall, and I'll specify. I'm going to say it's going to happen in October of 2022.
I'm saying first 6 weeks of the year.
All right, January 3rd.
What?
Wow. Okay.
All right.
So next we're talking to Jake Perron because he tells me always how to pronounce his name correctly. And Jake went overseas to Iran, so we now call him Jake from Iran. And his password management wasn't exactly as good as it should have been. So what happened, Jake? So this is a very, very popular and widespread and I think pernicious scam. When you got it, when you first opened it, how'd you feel?
Well, look, I was terrified. I opened it and my immediate thought was, how do I buy Bitcoin? And I remember I had like a 10x wallet from years ago. My immediate thought was like, okay, just like let this go. But, you know, between me and you, Adam, and Bo, you two, yeah, I don't look at a lot of porn. I can probably count on one hand the number of times I've looked at porn.
It would be one hand.
I don't want to ask which hand.
So immediately, like, I was suspicious, but I was also, you know, terrified. I called my friend who's an attorney and I said, what do I do? You know, I work in news. I run a lot of background checks. So I ran background checks on this email address to see if it would pull up anything. I tried to, you know, figure out who was contacting me and I could not. I spent a couple of hours being terrified, thinking that, you know, the one of 5 times that I have looked at porn, it happened to be hacked with my video camera. And then immediately, you know, I guess I just kind of decided that it was going to take the chance that they were going to hopefully not send out this wonderful video that he said he created.
Wait, so didn't you reach out to me, Jake? As I recall, you told me you got this thing, but was it after the fact and you just had already decided it was fate was going to take you one way or another?
I think when I told you about it, it had already passed. But, you know, it has stuck with me. Like, does this video exist? Is it out there? You know, it's really strange that he had my password.
What happened with your password management, Mr. Sacre Bleu?
Have I made any big changes in my password management?
Yes,
we all want to know.
Have we slightly altered our behavior pattern?
We're all looking for a quick hit off your bank account. So yes or no?
Here's what I've done. I started using the Google suggested strong passwords.
Right.
Okay.
But I've found one that I've committed to memory.
What?
Ooh.
It's a very strong one. I've committed to memory.
Wait,
and
a random one?
Yeah, a random one that Google suggested.
Wow.
And I committed it to memory. It's 18 or 20 digits.
What is it?
And, it's your social security number, Bo.
It's actually his and your social security numbers together, and we're still short a couple.
But
numbers.
like in a calculator, when you type out 5005 something, it spells out boobs. My social security number, and his social security number, his social security and my social security number. What do they spell? I lost the joke. Anyway.
Boobless. 800-87355.
Talk for yourself, buddy. I'm old. So what did you learn? Is that all you learned? You didn't learn anything else?
No, I've come here to say, yes, I've heeded your advice. I've started using the suggested strong passwords. Where I have fallen short is that I have just started using the one suggested strong password across.
No. Adam, is he all right? We got to do another pool. Sorry, buddy. We're already doing pools on people who are going to get got again.
Yeah.
I am going to say I got Valentine's Day on this one. He's going to get catfished or something.
I'll go Easter. The bunny will come after him.
I'll go St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. Well, that's true. You're wearing green today, so why wouldn't?
There you go.
We're thinking you're going to get hacked again, Mister.
I had my Amex was hacked last week. Does that count? There was a $1,300 charge at Walmart.
Nice.
No, I needed those Christmas lights. I hope you didn't mind.
Sam's Club and Walmart are owned by the same company.
That's right.
Yeah.
It seems to be a little bit of a thing going on around here.
Adam, you really should knock it off, because actually the person who we spoke to just previous to you, who had a problem with an evil clown, also got hacked by Adam.
It's true. I've been very busy. Very busy. So, that's why I need a break. That's why it's good that Christmas is coming.
But remember, snitches get stitches, so don't say anything to Amex.
Just remember, see, one of the things that we're trying to get people to understand is you can have a completely indecipherable password.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it could be a discovered indecipherable password.
Right.
And
now,
once
you remember
it's
Have I Been Pwned? Jake, you went on Have I Been Pwned. We went there with you on the episode, and you saw your password, which was not Sacre Bleu, because we don't even think that's funny. And it was, tell us what it was? No, anyway.
I thought it was funny.
We saw your password there, and it was, Adam told you the same thing. He told you the exact same thing. He said, if it's complicated but discovered, it's no good. It's no good. It's no bueno.
It's like, Jake, what are you doing?
Gentlemen, I do complicated but discoverable is a really catchy phrase that I don't remember you saying, but it makes sense.
We might not have said it, but now we have.
Don't you like that?
Very, very important.
Complicated but discoverable.
All right. So this was good that we came back. We circled back. We have saved you. We've even ruined our pool, probably, because you're going to take this into account, right? You're going to do this. You're going to do it.
Wait, Bo, when is your bet up?
I'm not telling you if you don't remember, because I'm right. All right. So do it, Jake. Get yourself a password manager.
You got it.
And thank you, Jake Perron. I love that. I love it. It just rolls off my tongue. Perron.
Bye, Jake. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Okay, so we're checking in with Emily McVicker. Now, she makes music for people on Twitch, and someone tried to scam her for a song, but she narrowly escaped the clutches of Barth.
I'm like taking notes. I was thinking like, okay, what would like really rock this kid's world on his birthday to hear all his interests and his name in one song? So I was going back and forth on what the song would be. And the guy goes, oh, you know what? I really appreciate what you do. So I want to pay you $300. I was like, great. So this is also not unusual, because on Twitch, I have some really, really generous patrons that support my music. I was like, great. I said, you can pay me Venmo and PayPal or PayPal. Well, what happened? They said, well, I have to pay you through a business account and we can't do third-party apps. So I'm just going to need your email and your full name. I was like, okay, well, that's going to delay the process, but my email and my full name are not really that private of information. It's on my website. It's on everywhere. And so I gave them those things and they're like, oops, my accountant accidentally wrote $3,000 instead of $300. But don't worry, LOL, I trust you to send back the $2,700 difference.
Oh, the web that has been woven.
That stinky little...
Emily, welcome back. We missed you. We love you. I sing the Travis Taylor song every time I call him.
Ah, well, thanks for having me back.
And Travis's kids sing it to him. You know, Travis is now famous because of you.
Travis, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, I think.
So he's going to write the Emily McVicker song.
Go on, Travis.
Yes, I'm indeed blushing.
You're awesome, Travis. Here we go.
This is What the Hack with Adam Levin.
I love it. Well, I had so much fun recording that podcast with you guys. And that narrow escape from Barth Spider.
So for those who may not have actually heard the episode, which was fabulous, can you give a brief sort of summation of what it was? What happened to you?
I had been getting repeated commissions for songs where the commissioner tried to overpay me for my services in hopes that I would send back a couple $1,000 difference.
I wish someone would offer me to pay me at all for anything I do, but hey.
Adam, get off of it. You know it was you.
One day, maybe I can be Emily McVicker. I want to be Emily McVicker.
Well, you'd really want to be me if I somehow figured out a way to scam the scammer, but I'm still working on that.
Yeah. You have to come back if you do figure it out.
I got to keep listening to your podcast so that I think of something.
I have to jump in here. I'm just going to tell everybody listening to the show that this is not a place to come to learn how to do a crime, okay? So just bug off if you think that's what you're doing. Now, if you so happen to figure out how to do a crime and you make a ton of money, we expect a VIG, right, Adam?
Yes, absolutely.
100%. So, Emily, we'll tell you how to do it, but you better cough up some dough our way.
Okay, good. I have some scam ideas, too. I can share them with you off the air.
Oh, excellent. On the down low, yeah. So you've been approached since, yeah?
Yeah, just, but it's very familiar now because the first message always starts with, "Hey, do you write originals?"
Mm-hmm. Oh, it does, always.
Pretty much always. And so I spot it and I don't really know where to go from there. I tried to occupy the last person and get more and more info and try to negotiate harder of like, well, this is the way I like to get paid. And
yeah. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this for your holiday gift. We are going to, right now, as we're sitting here together, Travis hitting the bass, Adam doing his thing, and me doing my thing, and maybe even you, we're going to give you a song to send them. Ready? Screw you, screw you. Screw you, screw you, screw you, no song for you.
I'm gonna screw you for trying to mess with Emily McVicker.
Wow, she's very quietly. I don't know how you can make the finger audible, but that was good.
And for the listeners at home, I was giving all the guys a friendly finger.
Yeah, screw you guys.
That's called
no music for you.
Sending love with the cyber finger. Yes.
So we're going to have to, I think that's what you should do, though. You should make it Emily Vickers original that is actually a go screw yourself.
Emily, as we love to say, we love you. And we thank you very much for coming. And we want to hear from you in the future. We want to know what's going on. And we want you to write a song for Bo.
Adam, can you make a song called Badam?
Datum? Is
No,
Adam a
Batum,
datum?
like Adam and Bo, Batum.
Or Abo.
Abo. Ado.
Yeah, I could.
Or if you do a
I can
song
do
for the three of
anything.
us, if you
You
do a
can do
song for the
anything?
three of us, we can call it
She
Tab.
can do anything. And, well, listen, we, I think, Adam, when we come back in the new year, we're going to have an Emily McVicker song, so we're going to have to get in touch about this. Okay. Deal.
Yeah, sounds good. And also,
right.
we got to talk about my scam idea. Because in order
Oh,
for my song premise to work, we have to figure out a way for the scam to work.
Okay.
Deal.
I have a feeling we're going to get scammed, but all right.
Travis, I know you've been using the public app to trade stocks and cryptocurrency. What's all this business about buying slices of stocks?
It's a really cool idea, actually. Instead of needing to buy an entire share, especially for a pretty expensive stock like Apple, you can just buy a fraction of it, as little as $1.
So I hear there's a social media component to it. Do people actually share good information on there?
They do. I've never really been too financially savvy, so it's been really educational for me to be able to see not just what people are investing in on the platform, but also why. So they'll explain a little bit about why they think it's a good investment and a good place to store their money.
So you like it so far?
Well, one thing that I looked for right away and was very satisfied with the result was that they have a strong privacy policy. With a lot of financial apps and a lot of trading apps, they will actually sell what you're doing to third parties, and public.com does not do that. So from a privacy standpoint, they're really solid.
That sounds great. So how do our listeners get active on Public?
It's really easy, actually. They can just go to public.com to download the app, and they can start investing with as little as $1, and they can get a free slice of stock of up to $50. And if they want to help us out, they can just go to public.com/whatthehack and sign up with code whatthehack. That's all one word.
Valid for U.S. residents 18 and older, subject to account approval. See public.com/disclosures, not investment advice. We love our What the Hack guests and their willingness to share their experiences in the shadowy world of cybercrime. But that said, you probably don't want to become our next cautionary tale about all the things that can go really wrong online. These days, you need an internet security solution that can detect and block threats like phishing email and ransomware files before they get to you. ESET Internet Security does just that, and a lot more. ESET Internet Security protects your online banking and payments by providing a special secure browser for financial transactions. It alerts you if someone's trying to access your webcam and keeps you invisible to hackers when you're using public Wi-Fi. Best of all, ESET Internet Security provides anti-phishing technology to block attempts to steal your username and passwords. Because we all know what criminals can do with those. Right now, you can try ESET Internet Security free for 30 days. Head to try.eset.com/hack to claim your free trial. That's try.eset.com/hack. Okay, so last but absolutely not least is our good friend Mary White. And Mary got catfished by somebody setting up a hospital overseas.
This is where it gets tricky, you guys. Okay, this is when you got to really get your antenna up. Because, it's turning out that Customs is holding on to the MRI machine and the X-ray machine, and they need $15,000 to get them.
Big ticket
Oh,
items.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this guy isn't messing around. And they need $15,000 to get it out of Customs. I'm like, well, gee, that's too bad. Sorry to hear it. He goes, well, is there any way you could help us out? What? You're a doctor, and you have enough money to open up a free clinic, but you can't get your stuff out of Customs? So red flag, right? Red flag. I've been doing this long enough. I know, red flag. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to see how this plays out. So I told him, oh, gee, I wish I could help, but, I just don't have the money. And I'm not going to give you $15,000. I don't even know you, right? But I didn't say that. Just like, sorry, can't help. We continue every morning, every evening. These messages are just lovely. About another week, he's like, oh, things are still stuck in customs. If you can even help us with $5,000, because I'm really worried about the equipments. I went, wait a minute, equipments?
So, Mary, how have you been? And has anyone tried to catfish you recently? And did you rebuff them viciously?
Viciously.
No, anymore. Well, obviously, since that last experience, I don't have anybody remotely like that approaching me anymore. Mostly because I got off all the dating sites because they were just a pain in my ass, It's like, it's a great way to meet people, but if you don't meet someone in a couple of weeks, pretty soon all you're doing is handing out fucking resumes, getting hornier and hornier, So
don't you be trying to get your hands on my resume.
That's right.
There's nothing sexy about that.
I know, exactly. Anyway, so I'm not getting catfished. I'm taking a little break. I am, however, eating a lot more sugar. So I don't know. Have you guys noticed the correlation between horniness and sugar consumption?
Hell yeah.
Right?
100%.
I don't eat sugar, so that must be why my libido committed suicide. I don't know.
No, Adam, come on. Listen, sugar and sex have to be very similar in your brain, I bet.
I'm keeping out of this one.
But I do know that Mrs. Travis goes, Travis, he's sweet. It's my boy.
Oh, it's very nice.
My wife calls me many things, but sweet has never been one of them, I think.
So I have a question, Mary. I have a question for you. After you were on with us and we talked about this story, which was kind of nuts. I mean, really nuts that somebody would be like, hey, my x-ray machine is stuck in customs. Could you give me $5,000?
I know.
It's nuts. But did
you sure you want to talk about Mary's x-ray machine?
Recounting the story, like, did that have anything to do with your decision to take a break, or did you just feel like it was not a good? Sometimes like online is like the worst neighborhood in the entire planet. Being online, where you don't know anybody, and it's you could be anybody.
Well, that doesn't really bother me too much because, I don't get out enough to meet people in real life anymore, So I think online is the way a lot of us have relationships.
Sure.
Hopefully, can translate. But him being an asshole didn't affect me, It was just, okay, between us girls, I did have, after that catfishing, I did have a 5-month relationship with a tall, handsome gentleman, but he lived too far away and it got too hard and we just had to say no. You're geographically undesirable.
Oh, the GU thing. Yes, I remember that.
Right?
GU. Oh man.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Huh.
So I'm going to start back up though in January. You guys watch. I'm going to be dating up a storm.
All right. Maybe. Are you going to catfish anybody?
Yes.
Oh, good. We want to hear all about it.
No, I wouldn't know how, to tell you the truth.
No, I know.
Well, I don't know, Mary. What we want you to do is to set up a catfish sting on Bo. See if he goes for it.
All right, I'm game. And the other thing is, do you? We would love it if you have some sort of cannabis cookery suggestions for the holidays.
Yes.
Well, my suggestion is ingest early, ingest often, and be medicated around your relatives. It's the only way you're going to survive.
Okay.
Boy, you're not wrong on that one. No.
What book should we send people to? If you're looking to hear more of Mary, who is really, truly awesome, what should they read, Mary?
They should read Every Day Mary J., which is my cannabis cookbook. It's not really so much great reading, but there's some good recipes in there. And you can see the pictures of my cat.
Excellent.
Oh.
That's who I sleep with now, by the way.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
It's safer.
I know it is.
There are so many ways that I could get in trouble for that. So therefore,
I
won't talk about that.
Stand down, Johnny Carson.
Yeah, relax there, son.
Hey, listen,
you guys
Mary,
are cool.
We can't thank you enough for coming on again, and we love having you on this show. Love it. And we want you to come back because I have no doubt you're going to come back with some really cool stories, especially how you catfish Bo.
Okay, I'm going to get right on that. Seriously. And I do want you guys to have beautiful holidays. You know, have a good time, get high, have sex, eat food, relax.
That's what I'm liking that. I am liking that a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And let's talk in the new year, gentlemen.
Heck yeah.
All right. Happy 2022.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, Mary.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey, listen, echoing what Mary said, thank you all for listening to What the Hack and a happy, healthy holidays. And please come and join us next year.
What the Hack with Adam Levin is a production of Loud Tree Media.
It's produced by Andrew Stephen, the man with two first names.
You can find us online at loudtreemedia.com and on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Adam K. Levin.